Karibu and welcome to 10 Faces Changing Africa, Kenya edition.
The StArfrica team of University of Koblenz, together with our amazing partners in diverse African countries, just to name a few, in Kenya, Rwanda, Ghana, Tanzania, Morocco, and soon to come Nigeria, we all strongly believe that every woman on the whole planet, but especially on the African continent, has the right to start a business.
The purpose of this campaign is to show that women are not just participating in the transformation of society, they are leading it. Where the women go, the culture goes.
When you're asking for traction, especially from a female entrepreneur who has struggled with structural and systemic biases, they're not able to grow and to show that traction. So it's like evaluating a fish by how they climb a tree. It's not exactly the best way, right?
They have so much potential, but they don't have the avenues to actually put their potential out. So you find most women actually just move from traders to being traders. They don't move from trading to investing. And when we saw that most people who actually come in and investors are usually more male dominated, so we thought, okay, is it that women don't have ideas, or is it that women are just meant to be employees?
Most of the time you'll go to a meeting and you'll hear people ask, who is the person from DigiCow who is going to explain how the platform works? People can't believe that I'm the person who generates the ideas and then they are built into the IT system. So I have to always say, I am here and I'll take you through it. You'll have to first explain yourself that you're capable before people can actually see the capacity that you have. That is one key challenge. Another thing is there's a common misconception that women are emotional. The women cannot make decisions because they are emotional, which I think it is not true, and it needs to be talked much. That when a woman is in business, they are capable of making business decisions even away from the emotion.
Women are the real people who are on the ground, making it all happen. Women actually do take risks, and we're very calculated and strategic in how we take the risks. Just because women build businesses that are meant for the community, or we're creating something safe for the people, it does not mean we're not taking big risks that are actually solving problems out there. I believe women are the biggest drivers in the society. And the way we do it is because we're very strategic in how we approach problems in the society. The whole reason as to why women businesses thrive is because we actually look for solutions that cater to something. We look for solutions that actually address a problem, and we cannot do that if we're not taking risks.
The Kenyan ecosystem has a lot of self-driven women who are actually driving successes and also doing amazing things within the sector. And the country is actually trying, because there are a lot of programs that are women-led, funding that are women-focused, but I feel like it's not sufficient. There's still much more to be done, and also they can shape the focus of how these programs are being delivered so that it's much more targeted and geared towards the success of women. There's actually a lot of programs that have lost focus because they've become or built a narrative that we're supporting women-led startups or women-led businesses. But that's just it, because it comes with pride when you're seen or perceived as focused in supporting women. But then really you do not know how to give the right kind of support or focus. So that's why I feel like the Kenyan ecosystem has failed a bit in just driving more women-led businesses to the edge of success. The systems that have been put into place that eventually create the barrier. And I feel like eventually the barrier has become like an excuse. So if women don't get financing, then we just blame it. There's a barrier to women facing financing. But what creates the barrier? It's the policies. It's these programs that are not targeted enough to unlock this financing model for women.
I actually realized, me being a woman, I understand what other women go through. And because I understand what other women go through, I needed to come up with a solution. And I've seen most women also come up with solutions, and I knew that with the kind of support women are giving each other nowadays, as a woman, I could do it. The report says that less than 2% of women have access to funding, especially VC funding. But the report bundles us as women, not necessarily considering geographical issues. For example, the African context is completely different, and you realize that racially, more white women have access to funding as opposed to Black or African women. And the kind of things African and Black women have to do to even access, sometimes even just 50K USD, is honestly ridiculous. And such reports actually do not mention such things. The African Black woman is disadvantaged when it comes to access to funding. You have to compete, like sometimes 100 of you, for, sometimes for even 2,000 USD in funding. And you find that you're lumped into one category. So for example, I may be in healthcare and someone else is in agribiz, and we are all competing for the same, yet what we are doing is completely different.
There's many cultural, religious, and internal battles that we struggle with as women. When it comes to wealth, we struggle to access capital, to access money, because until recently, for example, in Kenya, women were not allowed to inherit assets. So, and this is what men were using to access funding with banking institutions, with financial institutions in general. So, and also I feel like we are, when it comes to childcare, the system generally disadvantages women because the childcare infrastructure is generally structured to disadvantage women. So when all these issues come together, you find that even when you start off, let's say after university, on the space, at the same space with men, you'll find that women at some point in their 30s and 40s, they'll struggle to keep up with that because of these family roles and these limitations when it comes to access to money, and also now the cultural and religious beliefs. When it comes to investors, they are more inclined to invest in women. It's a great time to be a woman entrepreneur. I feel supported. I feel pushed to go to the next level. I feel appreciated. I feel wanted in the ecosystem. When it comes to accelerators, there are so many accelerators that are championing for women's rights, championing for women to do better. When it comes to the ecosystem in Kenya, for example, if you're a woman entrepreneur and you want to do government procurement opportunities, 30% goes to women, youth, and people with disabilities. So all of them are not just ticking boxes. They are very aware, they are very intentional, and they really want women to do better.
We're not just building businesses, we're building systems, we're building equity, we are building communities as well. And so I would say that the unspoken message right out here is that we are ready, we are capable, and we are not looking for permission to do it. When you wait to be ready, you waste a lot of time, and yet you have a dream, a good dream, and you have purpose that you can actually put into use. So I always insist that no matter what research you do and validation, no one is ever really ready. No one is ever really ready. There's only now, so you just get started and then clarity will come along the way. Clarity is built with action. As much as there might be unconscious bias towards how investors might relate to women and men entrepreneurs, I think the bias is also in us.
I have the social responsibilities at home, caregiving roles for my family, and I'm asking myself, is it really worth being an entrepreneur, or should I have just remained employed where I'd have an 8 to 5 job without thinking a lot, without really having a lot of extra things to think about? Many times you find yourself in a room full of males, and you shouldn't be that loud. According to our African culture, women are not supposed to be too loud. They're not supposed to really push their opinions too hard. Sort of, you're supposed to let the men go first So it happens a lot of times. Sometimes you show up and you ask yourself, am I dressed right? Should I have probably worn something maybe less tight, maybe less revealing? Is my femininity affecting how I am being perceived in this conversation? It happens a lot.
The people who I'm building for, smallholder farmers, especially women, these are people who they wake up every single day, they show up every day, even if the systems are not even giving them all the structures that they need, and they also they're not recognized. So they have not given up to this far. How can I give up? What we've been able to build in just under 2 years, that shows us that we have a long way to go. But we've been able to show that there's a path, and we are following that path. So for me, I'm believing that I am going to be part of something great, and being part of something great is just not giving up. There is no option for giving up and walking away, not at this point.
I had to create a seat at the table if there was no one. So I have stood up to become authentic, to actually amplify my voice. And what really motivates me is because I'm not speaking on behalf of choice. I'm speaking on behalf of my community. I'm speaking on behalf of farmers. I'm also speaking on behalf of future generations. So I want to be accountable to that future generation and the current generation. So this is always a motivation and the reason why I boldly step into those board meetings and pitching my ideas to different investors.
Women can be powerful and graceful CEOs and mothers, like a tree that bears both strength in its roots and beauty in its blossoms. Women do not need to choose between success and identity. They embody both.
Do I think there's a lot to do? Absolutely. Putting a woman in the investment committee to represent women is not enough. It might solve something, but it doesn't matter if there's no decision-making power plus lived experience in Africa, and actually being there and knowing that this is what it means to innovate in the continent.
People wouldn't believe that a lady can be able to generate ideas that can even be commercialized and change the business and the economy and also the global economy.
There is a case of somebody viewing me as a woman is going to be away because she had a child, so it means the business is not going to be successful. We need to start having those conversations.
When we are asked about the businesses that we do not have the audacity to say exactly what we do. And like you said, bragging rights.
We need a kind of support for creating more women-led startups in what we call the high-tech industries, in innovation-driven areas, in areas where science plays a major role.
From healthcare to agri-tech, med-tech, agriculture, the stories of all of these women represent the many super cool innovations that are community focused, changing the lives of many people in Kenya. But also, these women represent the thousands of other women across the continent of Africa who still have to fight for a place, who still have to say a different word, look a certain way to fit in, to make a statement. The question is, how long are we going to have this conversation? Maybe this should be the beginning of the end of such a conversation, that years from now, we would not have to be talking about female entrepreneurship from Africa this way. Aside from the fact that these women have built these businesses that are touching lives and changing Africa for good, they are still raising money. They are calling for customers, partners, people that genuinely care. Because if we as society have been the people behind the kind of people that are raised in the boardrooms, that shadow people, the kind of women that walk into boardrooms and have to shrink, then society, you and I, have a role to play. The question is, are you ready for the beginning of the end of such a conversation?